Okay, it's 12:30. We'll kick off today's webinar. Just want to say, hey, thank you for everyone for joining our Streamline Your Scheduling webinar with Halaxy, which is the second webinar in our new onboarding series. My name is Shane. I handle the marketing here at Halaxy, and it's great to see everyone online today. Today's webinar really expands on some of the topics that we covered in our Getting Started webinar last month and looks specifically at how you can use Halaxy to run your entire practice right from your calendar. We'll cover everything from setting up your calendar, managing appointments, setting up telehealth appointments. I know it's a popular feature with a number of our users, and automating your reminders. Plus, we're going to show you how to unlock the power of Halaxy's one-click workflow. This is something that really differentiates Halaxy from a lot of other pieces of software market. With Halaxy's one-click workflow, all you need to do is create an appointment and patient profile, clinical notes, invoices, and reminders are automatically created for you, freeing up time for you to focus on what matters most, patient care. Before we dive into those topics, so I just want to take a moment to get to know everyone a bit better. And just sort of ask, where is everyone located today? I know Tanya's located in Newcastle. What about everyone else? Adelaide, very nice, very nice. I know we have a lot of Australia users. Perth, all right. And what about your role within your practice? This will help us tailor a webinar today. What do you do within your practice? Sydney, very nice. Melbourne, very nice, another Melbourne. Sole trader, speech pathologist. We have a big concentration in Allied Health here. Counselor, very nice. Okay, that's going to really help us with our webinar today and help us tailor this message for you. So today's webinar is perfect for practitioners, admins, and practice managers alike who manage multiple calendars or even multiple locations. It's also ideal if you're if you're managing your own schedule. But whether you're a practitioner or an administrator, today we're going to answer some of the most common questions we've seen from Halaxy community. Questions like, how do I make sure I have oversight of all my appointments? How can I customize my calendar with the exact information I want displayed? Or how do I reduce or avoid cancellations and no-shows? We're going to look at all those questions and more. Plus, you'll have the team to ask our team of experts any other questions you may have about using Halaxy during today's webinar. But more on that later. Now, with that out of the way, I'm going to hand things over to Ria, our learning maestro. Ria, thank you again for this session today. I think we're all going to learn a lot. Ria, over to you.
Thank you, Shane. Hi, everyone. My name is Ria. I am the content and learning specialist here at Halaxy, and I'm going to be taking you through our scheduling webinar today. So our webinar focus is all about scheduling. We're going to be building on some of the main features that we discussed in our Getting Started webinar that we had about 3 weeks ago. If you weren't able to attend that one, we have a recording of it, and Shane's just dropping the link to that in the chat right now. So we trust you're familiar with some of the basics as we delve into more advanced topics today. So I'm just going to take you quickly through our learning goals today. So the first one is how to set up your calendar. So we're going to learn how to customize how your calendar looks. You can set up what info you want to display on your calendars and also how to manage multiple calendars. Second is managing appointments. So we're going to learn how to create different types of appointments and also what to do when someone cancels. So there are different ways to, you can either cancel or delete an appointment. Next is how to set up telehealth appointments. So you can create telehealth appointments natively within Halaxy. You don't have to create accounts with external software. You don't have to leave Halaxy you don't have to open other websites. Halaxy Telehealth is as seamless as face-to-face appointments. And lastly, we're going to set up an automated reminders. So this is, you can learn how to schedule and automatically send personalized reminders every time you create an appointment. That way you don't have to do it yourself. You can save a lot of time, and the reminders are always customized to your patient's relevant info. And this helps patients, stay on top of and show up to their appointments. Of course, calendar and appointments, we have a lot more features and functions. We're just going to focus on these topics, but if you want to learn more, you can visit our help guide at support.halaxy.com. It has hundreds of support articles. It has tutorial videos, so you can learn how to do pretty much anything you need to do on Halaxy. We also have a couple of reminders. If you want to follow along, you can log into your Halaxy account now. Or if you haven't yet, you can create an account. It's free. And we also recommend that you can put the browser, your Halaxy browser like on one side and this webinar on the other side, so you can follow along as we're going. And the other reminders would be some of the features in this webinar require a verified profile. So for example, email and SMS reminders require a verified profile. This helps protect patients by promoting only authentic practices. This takes less than 10 minutes. All you need to do is complete your practitioner profile and your practice location details. It's really easy. Shane's just dropping the link to the help guide article on how to get verified. Some of the features in this webinar also require Halaxy credits. Now, Halaxy credits, you use these to pay for certain add-on features that turbocharge your practice. So for example, SMS reminders, Halaxy Telehealth, these require Halaxy credits. You buy them in packs. They can be as low as 15 cents per credit, and you only ever pay for what you use. Yeah, so that's what we have. If you want to participate in the webinar, we also have the chat function here in Zoom. We have our service team members here. We have Julie and Rudy on the online as well. So if you have any questions, pop it in the chat and they will help answer your questions. So if everybody's ready, we can get started. So I'm just going to jump right into Halaxy now. Give me one sec. All right. So this is when you log into Halaxy, you're going to get taken straight to your calendar. And the first thing we're going to do is set up which calendar we want to view. So by default, as a practitioner, I'm going to see my own calendar. I'm logged in as Alex Garcia. I'm going to see Alex Garcia's schedule. And you can see here that my calendar is shaded in different colors. So this is for the locations that I practice in. So this practitioner practices in 2 different locations. And if you look here in personal and locations, you can set that up here. I have my open hours set up for a different location. So I always know that if I'm creating an appointment here, this is going to set this to Melbourne CBD. And if I click on the yellow, this knows that it's at North Melbourne. So if I want to see other practitioners or other locations, you can put that here. So if I want to see this other practitioner's schedule as well, just tick the checkbox. And that's going to show here. So you see Alex Garcia, that's AG, and then TW's for Terry Williams. And the reason why their hours are like this, Terry Williams practices in Perth. So in Melbourne time, their 9 to 5 is going to start at 11 a.m. So just for this webinar, I'm just going to focus on my own calendar. Yeah, so you can always select and deselect here on the upper right. Next is how to navigate the calendar. So just up here, we have a few buttons that can help us quickly navigate the calendar. If you want to jump to a specific date, like you don't have to keep flipping between these arrows here, you click this calendar icon. And if let's say you're going to go to like next year, this time, today's April 15th. If I do that, it jumps directly to that time. And then if I want to go back to today, just click today. Or if you prefer to view a week view, just click this week. And it goes back to that. You can flip by day, by week, or month using the arrows here. And if you want to switch view as well, like if you want a monthly view, just click month and it takes you to this month view. But I prefer to do the week. Also, these magnifying glass icons, this is to zoom in and out. This is to change the time duration of your time blocks. So here in my current calendar, the time blocks are in 15-minute blocks. And if, let's say, you want to do 30-minute blocks only, you just click that. And I'm going to click another time. And now it says, yeah, 12:30, 1 o'clock, 1:30. So that's how you adjust the time blocks on your calendar. Next is, we're going to set up the preferences on the calendar. So we're going to fine tune our calendar some more on what specific info we want to see. So, here on the patient appointment here, you can see they have their name, their age, like the appointment comment, their phone number. You can select what info you want to see. And to do that, here on the upper right corner, there's a cogwheel icon. Just click that. This opens up your calendar preferences. So we'll go through this real quick. So here, this is the time zone. So this sets your account's time zone. This is especially helpful if you have different practice locations in different time zones. For example, if one clinic is in Perth, the other one's in Melbourne, this is really useful to have. So if you set your calendar time zone, your user time zone here, every timestamp on Halaxy is going to be in that time zone. Your appointments, your scheduled tasks like scheduled payments or your reminders, they're going to be displayed in Halaxy at this time zone. Next is start time and end time. So by default, Halaxy includes all hours on the calendar from midnight to 11 p.m. So if you don't want to include that much time in your calendar, you can set it to, let's say, from 7 a.m. and I just want it until 8 p.m. If you save that, so you'll see it'll only cover 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sorry, let's just go back to this week. Yeah. Next is, there are a few other things, other preferences. Like if you want to hide the canceled appointments, you can do that. If you want to show only weekdays, if you practice only on weekdays, you can leave out the weekends on your calendar and what day to start the week on. Next is appointment details. So appointment details is the level of detail you want to show here on the appointment, like right on the calendar. And this is without having to open the appointment panel. So there are a few options here, like for example, new patient icon. This will show a star beside the patient's name if they're a new patient. There's also the appointment comment. If you want to make like what I showed earlier, it said requires wheelchair assistance. You can put like needs an interpreter, any kind of any comment, you can have that show right away. There's also patient age. So it's up to you what you wanna, what level of detail you want to show. And this is just a quick Halaxy pro tip. You can do this anywhere on the platform. If you don't know what a specific field does, like for example, like invoice send status, I don't know what that is. If you see this question mark icon here beside the field name, that's a tooltip. Just hover your mouse over that and it'll tell you what it does. So like, for example, this show or hide a star icon next to a patient's name if they've never attended an appointment with your practice. So you'll see these tooltips everywhere on Halaxy, and they're really helpful to guide you through what you need to do. Patient format, this will determine like how your patient's name appears on your calendar. So earlier it was full details, which included like their mobile number. If you want it to just be their initials, or if you want it anonymized, you can do that as well. And this is just a guide on your location, hours, color. You can't actually change this here. You have to do that from the locations page. So yeah, now that we have our calendar looking exactly how we want, we can move on to managing our appointments. So if you were here on our Getting Started webinar, we showed you the one-click workflow with Halaxy. it's really easy. All you need to do, you can run your entire practice here from the calendar. So if you need to create an appointment, just click on the calendar. You want to add a new patient. Let's call him Chris Evans, and you can add him here. You can save that. You can import a fee. Let's give him a Medicare appointment. Let's say consultation. We're going to import that fee and save. So just from creating an appointment, we added a new patient, we imported a fee, we also created a clinical note, and we generated an invoice. So just from that, there's so much that you've done in just one action. So we're going to take a look at the different kinds of appointments you can create in Halaxy. So just now I showed you how to create a patient appointment. And if you need to edit that appointment, all you need to do is, so if you click it here on the calendar, you open up the appointment information panel and you click this pencil icon here. And that's how you can edit any details you want here. And then you just click save. Next is we're going to create a group appointment. So that's if you have more than one patient attending at the same time. So let's see how to do that. So click again on the calendar. So let's say at 10:30, let's put Scarlett Johansson. Oops. We have to add her as a new patient. And let's say this. Okay, so now that we added the patient and the fee, to add another patient, just click the button that says add another patient. And let's put any Avengers fans here. We're going to add Mark Ruffalo as a new patient. And they can be under the same fee or they can be in another fee. It's up to you. And let's add. Let's add another patient. And let's put our existing one, Chris Evans. And click save. So just now here, you can see on your calendar, it'll say that it's a group appointment, and it'll also tell you how many people are in that group appointment. And just as we configured earlier, it shows us which of these patients are new to your practice. And here on the appointment information panel on the right, you'll see that even though it's a group appointment, each patient still has their own clinical note and own separate invoice. Yeah, so that is a group appointment. You can also add their claim details here and referrals separately. The next appointment we're going to create is a repeat appointment. So if you want to book a patient in advance with a preferred practitioner at a regular schedule, you can do so. You don't have to create all the future appointments one by one. So let's take this existing appointment and we'll make that into a repeat appointment. So let's open up this one and let's click the pencil icon to edit. If you scroll down, you'll see there's a button called repeat appointment. We'll click that. And this is where you, sorry, someone has a question. If you have a question, just you can drop it in the chat. Yeah, so if you want a repeat appointment, you can set the schedule here. So you can schedule it to repeat every weekday. You can say every month. And you can also put here when that repeat will end. So you can put it after you only want them to repeat like for 10 appointments, or it can be by a specific date. And whatever schedule you have, you'll have a summary here that kind of summarizes, that tells you what when the repeat schedule is. So this one every month for 10 times. And if you click save, so you now have a repeat appointment. So if you click next month, you'll see that it's already here. You also have the clinical note and you have an invoice for that appointment already. Yeah, so that is a repeat appointment. Oh, by the way, if you don't want the future appointments to generate an invoice, you just don't add a fee. Don't add a fee to the appointment. Okay, next is personal appointments. So this lets you block out time in your calendar for your personal activities or errands. So if you need to step out really quickly and you don't want the person who books in patients, you don't want them to book a patient in for that time because you're going to be out of the office. So you can book in a personal appointment. So also administrators can have their own calendars. They just need to be enabled. So to enable an admin calendar, you need to go to on the left-hand panel, click settings, and then users. So this is an administrator user. If you click the calendar icon, you'll see you can enable the administrator calendar. So any administrator can enable their own calendar, but only a full access administrator can enable it for other administrators. So if you want to create we were going back to personal appointments. Let's create one right now. So click the time and date that you want to have your personal appointments. I'm going to choose Wednesday at 1 p.m. And just here on the panel, click the personal tab here. And you can say, let's say, psychology conference. And it's going to go for, let's say, let's get 3 hours, right? And if you want people to know where you'll be exactly at during this time, you can select other address and you can put in the address of where that conference is going to be. But if you don't want people to know, you can just leave that blank. This can be a repeat appointment as well. So if you click save, now your calendar is blocked out for those hours. And also if you have, if there are going to be other practitioners who are going to be at that personal appointment with you, you can add them here. You can also add in administrators to a personal appointment, but their calendar has to be enabled for that. Okay, so those are the 4 different types of appointments, and we will move on to the next topic, which is canceling appointments. So patients will sometimes request to move or cancel their appointments. If you only need to reschedule, there are 2 ways to do this. So one is if the patient wants to move their appointment to within the day or just within the week, you can just click the appointment here in the calendar and just drag it to, let's say, 2:30. You can just drag it there, or you can drag it to any other time during the week, like that. The other way to edit, so if you need to add reschedule to say another month, you just click the appointment, edit it by clicking the pencil icon. So just scroll down and you can change the date and time here. So let's put that here. And let's say 4 p.m. after that conference, and there you have it. So if a patient can no longer attend, though, you can cancel or delete the appointment. So there's a difference between canceling and deleting. Deleting is like it's like you remove the record entirely, like it was never booked in the first place. Canceling means it's removed from your calendar, but you retain a record of the booking in your patient's appointment history. So you can also opt to, when the patient cancels, you can opt to retain the invoice. That's if you want to charge them a cancellation fee, or you can just delete the invoice if you're not charging them. So there are a few exceptions to canceling and deleting. So you can't cancel or delete an appointment if you've already processed a payment or a rebate on that appointment invoice. You also can't delete an appointment if the clinical note has content in it. So you can just delete the note first, and then you can delete or cancel the appointment. So if you want to delete an appointment, so you just click this, click the appointment here. You see this X icon. click that. So you have your options here. So again, canceling just means you're going to retain a record of the appointment. And this first option here also retains the invoice if in case you want to charge a cancellation fee. This one is you cancel the appointment and you delete the invoice, and this marks the appointment as a non-attendance if the patient just is a no-show. And here you delete the appointment, so you're removing it completely, no record of it. And with cancellation, you can also select the cancellation reason if you want to document that sort of thing. And the good thing about cancellation, retaining that record of the cancellation is this shows up if the patient wants to cancel again. So let's say I'll show you what this how this looks like. So let's say this patient cancels and they'll say let's say can't reach on time, and we'll cancel that. And then let's say this same patient next week, let's say they have another appointment. So and let's say they want to cancel, they call in and then they say they'll cancel again. If you do that, you'll see that they'll already have a previous cancellation, and you can show when and what the reason was that time. So this way you kind of have this way you'll be able to see if a patient has a history of poor attendance. And yeah, this just keeps you on top of patients' attendance history. Okay, so we've learned how to create appointments and cancel and delete them. Now we're going to move on to another component of healthcare that's become essential, which is telehealth. So in recent years, especially with COVID, telehealth has become a staple offering in many practices. And I want to ask, does anybody here, and to all of you attending here, does anybody do telehealth consultations with patients? Yep. Wow, yeah, telehealth is quite popular. Good to see. Okay, so with Halaxy Telehealth, it's been tremendously beneficial for both practitioners and patients. So you can conduct secure and affordable consultations remotely from anywhere. Patients can save on transport and parking costs, and everyone saves valuable time. So it's a win-win situation. Halaxy has its own inbuilt telehealth feature. So you don't need to sign up for another service. You don't have to open up a new website while you're in Halaxy. You can create your telehealth appointments, share the link, and even start your calls all from the Halaxy calendar. So just a reminder that this is an add-on feature that uses Halaxy credits. You can add up to 3 patients in one telehealth appointment, and it's 2 credits per 15-minute blocks per patient. So to create a telehealth appointment, it's really similar to how to create a regular appointment. So again, just click on the calendar for the time and date. And let's add our patient. And let's say Medicare telehealth. Let's add in, yeah. We're going to import this fee. So before you click save, you just scroll down, and under location, just select Halaxy Telehealth and then click save. So you'll see here, the location is now Halaxy Telehealth. And then now, one really important thing is you have to send that telehealth link to the patient so they'll know how to join. So if you see here beside the patient, you'll see this paper plane icon. Just click that, and that'll take you to this pop-up here. You can choose if you want to send the telehealth link by email or by SMS. And there's already a default message here that gives them the URL, and you just click send, and that sends it to the patient. So they can just click that link once they're ready to join. Okay, you can even schedule some automated reminders for these for your telehealth appointments, but we're going to get to that in the next topic. So let's say it's appointment time. Let's dial into our telehealth call. So just here in the appointment panel, click the Halaxy Telehealth link here for location. And just make sure you have your credit balance as well. And then click Launch Telehealth. So clicking Launch Telehealth, this doesn't actually start the call, but it takes you to a waiting room where you can test your call settings and wait for attendees. So this isn't showing up right now because I'm on Zoom, so the camera is not going to work here. But when you get here, yeah, this is sort of your waiting room. And when your attendees are here, there's going to be a join button here. So when you click that join button, that's when the actual call starts, and that's when it starts charging, calculating the charge for your patients. So patients can only enter the call when the practitioner has joined. Excuse me. And then when you finish your appointment, just make sure to click, there's going to be a red disconnect or end call button, and that stops the charge. So that allows Halaxy to calculate the final charge of the session. So going back. So again, the magic of Halaxy's one-click workflow is here in Halaxy Telehealth Appointments. I created a telehealth appointment. It generates a clinical note. There's an invoice for it. So you really save a lot of time so you can focus on patient care. Now, if you have other video conferencing apps, like let's say you're using Zoom or Skype or something, you can also integrate that here in Halaxy. So let's create another appointment for someone else. So telehealth. And so before you click save, instead of Halaxy Telehealth, here under location, select online consultation and then click save. So this is what you select. Online consultation is for external video conferencing apps. And to add in the call link for that, you see this video icon here next to the patient. This is where you paste the call link. So the Zoom call link or the Skype call link, you're going to have to copy that from your video conferencing app and then paste it here and then click save. So once you've added that that call link, you're going to have to send that to your patient, and it's exactly the same as a Halaxy Telehealth call link, which is it should be here, but I think it's not showing up because this patient doesn't have an email address yet. So, but yeah, that paper plane icon should be here, and you can send that link to the patient. Next, we're going to move on to one of my favorite time-saving features, which is automated reminders. This is really handy. This is so that you can be completely hands-free. As soon as you schedule an appointment, the reminders are going to take care of themselves. So you can send SMS or email reminders so your patients can keep track of upcoming appointments. So with an estimated 98% open rate, SMS reminders are really an effective tool to significantly reduce your cancellations and no-shows. So your reminders can be fully customized and they can be personalized for your patients. Like it can contain your patient's name, the date and time of their appointment. So let's go set up our reminders. So on the left-hand panel, the side menu, if you click settings, and then click reminders. So these are the reminder settings. So there's two facets to this. So this is the reminder preferences, which dictates how you want to send your reminders and when. And then here with templates, this is what the reminders actually say, like the content. So let's set up our preferences first. So here under preferences, click edit. So let's select which reminder types we want to send out, and we can select if we want them to be sent out by SMS or email. And again, if you're going to be enabling SMS, make sure you have credits. SMS is 1 credit per 160 characters, and another credit for every succeeding 153 characters. So new appointment is once you schedule a new appointment, the patient will be notified. Oh, you have an appointment scheduled. Change appointment is if the appointment gets canceled or rescheduled, the patient will be notified of that as well. But if you're going to enable change appointment, you need to have new appointment selected as well, because the system needs to know which appointment was changed. So if there was no new appointment notification that was sent out, this will not be implemented as well. The really important one is this one, pre-appointment reminder. So this can be scheduled to your preference. So this can be 1 day before, 1 week before, 3 days before. But this is what tells the patient, like, hey, you have an upcoming appointment. And if you want them to confirm their attendance, you can enable two-way responses, but this is only for SMS. So this is when you can say, reply Y to confirm, or text back N to cancel. So we really recommend these reminders. And just down here, you can set your pre-appointment reminder schedule. So I have SMS enabled and I have email enabled. You can set when both of those will be sent. If you want them to be more staggered, to kind of have like 2 different reminders and not at the same time. So let's say if I want the email to come like 7 days before and the SMS will come in like 2 days before. And so which days should reminders be set? You can opt to only send them on weekdays if you don't want to bother your patients on weekends. And what time should the reminders be sent? So based on appointment time will be relative to the booked appointment time. So if, say, the appointment is at 2 p.m. and the SMS will go out 2 days before at 2 p.m. But if you want all your reminders to go at only the same time, you can put this at, say, you want them all to go out at 10 a.m. So regardless if what time their appointment is going to be at 5 p.m., 12 p.m., the reminder is always going to be sent at 10 a.m. at this schedule. So let's click save. So we have those set up. So we have SMS and email, so pre-appointment. Now let's customize what our reminder is gonna say, like the content of it. So here on templates, you have 3 sort of different three, what do you call this, groups of appointments. So the ones here, these are for face-to-face appointments, like in-person appointments. So these might want to say like the address, like your email reminders, you might want to include the address of your practice location. And for here, you have video consultation reminder templates. So for these templates, you might want to include the video link for the telehealth call. And then here in phone consultation, you might want to say like, this appointment is going to be conducted by phone. So yeah, it's just so you're every time you set the location on your appointment. So for example, if it's going to be in the physical address, Halaxy knows to send this type of appointment. And if it's a Halaxy telehealth or online consultation location for the appointment, it knows to send this one. So Halaxy is so customized, like you don't even have to select exactly which template to send, it just knows. So now that, because we enabled pre-appointment reminders, let's change that for let's pick a common one. So pre-appointment for in-person appointment. And let's click the pencil icon beside that. So when you edit a reminder template, you can edit the SMS and the email template in the same page. So you can click in the template editor. Sorry, my computer's just loading. Yeah. So you can say you have an appointment with, and these here, these are dynamic terms. So I'm not sure if you were here at the previous webinar, but these are dynamic terms that allow you to personalize reminders. So no matter which practitioner is going to be sending this reminder, their name is going to be what's populated here. So same thing with appointment, date and time and location. The personalized info is always going to be populated here. If you have two-way responses, two-way reminders enabled, so that's when if you want them to confirm, you're gonna have to put your prompt text here. You have to prompt them to actually reply to the email. So you can say, this can be yes or Y if you want to save on characters. So you can just say, press Y to confirm, and then you can say call to reschedule. So if you want to add other dynamic terms, like for example, one really handy one is add to calendar. So if you click that, it adds that here. So when the patient receives the reminder on their phone, there's a link and they tap that, it adds the appointment to their device's calendar. So that's really handy if you, to keep them from forgetting their appointment, since it's already there in their device. So it's the same thing here with email. You just add, if you want to add that add to calendar link. So click here and then click dynamic terms. And then you can search, or you can type here to filter. So add to calendar, and it adds it here. So it's just that, and then click save. So if we go back to our calendar, sorry, my Halaxy website's just loading. So you can see here, if you open this appointment, you'll see the reminders that are scheduled for this appointment. So if you click this bell icon, you'll see that there are appointment reminders scheduled already. And another thing that's really cool in automating this, if the patient cancels or you have to delete the appointment, those reminders are automatically canceled as well. If this appointment is rescheduled to another date, then those reminders are also going to be rescheduled. So you don't have to manually like fiddle with the reminder settings every time. It's all automated for you. Another thing about reminders, so remember, like if you have SMS reminders, always make sure that you have credits. So here in reminder settings, just going back to settings and then reminders, you'll always see your credit balance here. And especially if you're using automated reminders, you have to make sure that you don't run out. I mean, you can buy credits like at a regular schedule every week or every month. You can buy them here. Just click buy credits. And yeah, you can enter how much you want to buy, and it'll show you how many credits you're going to be buying with, like, say, $100. Or if you want to make sure you never run out, you can also set up your auto top up. So just here at the top, click the pencil icon next to auto top up and just enable it. And then you can set this up so that when my credit balance reaches 50, or you can change this to 10 or even 100, if the credit balance reaches 100 credits, then you can set what amount you want to automatically top up. So you can do that, and you can make sure that all your SMS reminders are always going to be sent out. You'll never run out of credits. We also have two other cool features for SMS and SMS reminders. So one is dedicated number. So if you subscribe to dedicated number, it assigns your practice its own mobile number. So your calls, your two-way reminders will always come from the same mobile number every time. And this helps patients identify your practice and know that these are messages legitimately coming from you. The other, yeah, and if you've subscribed to a dedicated number, you'll see it here. So this is your number. You can send that to your patients as well. Another feature is custom name. So you can register a custom name, so you can change, like, instead of an unknown number, it can say, like, for example, I want my my practice name to show up like it's from Halaxy Health or something. You can subscribe to that. This also lets patients easily identify you, and this helps build trust. It improves appointment attendance. And yeah, so both of these features, dedicated number and custom name, they're both add-ons. They are 50 credits a month, and you can cancel it anytime. But depending on the amount of transactions that you process per month, so you might be able to get these for free. So there's certain payment bands depending how much you process per month. If you are on the silver, gold, or platinum payment bands, both dedicated number and custom name are free of charge. So Shane's just going to drop in the link to that. And I think we've covered everything with reminders. So that's all we have for this webinar. We learned how to set up our calendar, create and cancel our appointments. We learned how to set up telehealth appointments, and we just set up our automated reminders. So yeah, that's all we have for scheduling. And I hope you enjoyed this webinar and found it useful. You'll be breathing through scheduling in no time. And again, there are more features and functions on the help guide. Please visit support.halaxy.com if you want to learn more about how to use Halaxy. And we'll be taking some questions in a bit for Q&A. But I'd also just like to remind that if you are, when you exit this webinar later, there's a feedback form, and we'd really appreciate it if you took a couple of seconds to fill out that feedback form so we can improve your experience as Halaxy users. So I'm going to turn you over to Shane. Thanks everyone for joining. We'll start our Q&A soon.
Yeah, thank you, Ria, for those amazing insights and lessons. I think I learned a lot, and I'm sure everyone on the call did as well. As Ria mentioned, we're now going to head off to our Q&A for around the next 13 minutes. This is a great chance for you to ask us any additional questions you have from the lessons that Ria shared today. So if you want to put your questions in the chat now, our team will start working through them, and we'll start working through them. As Ria mentioned as well, we are going to share a feedback form in the chat very shortly. If you could take the time to fill that out, it'll be much appreciated. We use that feedback to make these live learning experiences better for every webinar we do. And as Ria has mentioned in the past, we will be doing webinars on a regular basis. So we really appreciate your feedback. Yep, so we'll just kick off the Q&A now. Again, if you have any questions, just pop them in the chat. And Rudy, Julie, and everyone else from the Halaxy team will start answering them. We'll go through them now.
And yeah, just want to remind everybody that this session is being recorded, and we will send a link to the recording after, sometime within the day or maybe tomorrow. Yeah. If you have any specific issues that's specific to your practice, we'll also recommend emailing our service team at community@halaxy.com. You can get better assistance with our service team.
Definitely, and they're available 24 hours a day, Monday to Friday, AEDT, which is one of the best things about having a Halaxy account. You can reach out to us anytime you need us.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody have any questions? I feel like the service, I feel like Julie and Rudy have gotten to them. We're so quick.
Ria, your fantastic webinar covered, I think, a lot of the questions that our customers may have. So I think you did a really good job there. I think everyone feels the same. Well, if we don't have any questions, we will wrap things up. Again, I just want to say thank you for everyone for joining today's webinar. It was fantastic having you all here. Fantastic, Ria, sharing your insights. As Ria mentioned, if you do have any questions, you can always reach out to us at community@halaxy.com. Oh, Fiona has a question. Feel free to put it through, Fiona, and we'll get to it.
Yes, sure.
But looking at what's next in our webinar series, this is all part of our revamped onboarding series to really help you make the most of Halaxy and to help you level up your knowledge of Halaxy so you can make the most of it. If you missed our first webinar, Getting Started with Halaxy, it runs through all the basics of using Halaxy. Ria's just going to drop the link in the chat now. I know there was a few people requesting that and a few people that may have missed it, but we will be holding this webinar at a regular schedule going forward. We'll provide details of that in our email in the coming weeks, but if you want to attend that live, that is always an option. Moving on to our next webinar, that's all about the clinical features of Halaxy. This is for practitioners looking to manage patients and clinical records. In this webinar, we'll cover patient profiles, clinical notes, intake forms, and patient communications. Ria's also going to drop the link in the chat to register for that webinar, but we're also going to do a follow-up email tomorrow morning around that time if you want to register. So don't worry if you can't find the link or you miss it. And that will be on the 13th of May at 12:30 p.m. Again, as with this webinar, it's going to run for around an hour. So watch out for that one in your inbox. After that webinar, we'll be having a webinar on billing and finances. This is really all about running the business side of your practice with Halaxy, which is important for a lot of practitioners. With this, we're going to look at everything you can do to automate and organize your records, including invoices, claims, payments, expenses, and even financial reportings. If you're in charge of the billing side of your practice, this is a great webinar for you. And lastly, our final webinar as part of our new onboarding series will really dive into the automations of Halaxy. One of the big things we always talk about at Halaxy is really saving you up to an hour a day in admin. And over time, that really adds up. So we're going to look at time-saving processes for payments, rebates, templates, communications, reminders, and much, much more. That's what that webinar will cover. I'm really excited to learn that one from Ria, so looking forward to that myself. And yeah, that is everything from today's session. Just again, thank you for attending today, and we really appreciate it. And if you have any feedback, please let us know. But I had a lot of fun today. I know I learned a lot. I hope everyone did as well. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.